Hey folks, welcome back to another HP Gaming GameLINK video. It is that time of the month once again when we talk all things crowdfunding, Kickstarters, GameFound, all that crazy stuff. And this is our 12th episode of rounding out our first season, I guess, of our very own web series. This is your May edition of Gotcha Backer. Hey folks, welcome back. As I said at the outset, this is of course our 12th edition or 12th episode of Gotcha Backer for May 2021. If you're just joining us, this is a show where we're going to talk about all things crowdfunding, things we're backing, things that have piqued our interest, all that sort of stuff. First things first though, if you don't know who I am, and you should by now, my name is Matt and I am a Kickstarter super backer, which basically means, as I said in our very first episode, that we have no money. We are going to be talking about a few things today, but first things first, we're going to talk about some new arrivals or recently arrived Kickstarters. Now, first and foremost, I've got to go over here. We're shooting in the garage today only because, in the game garage, I should say, warehouse, because we are in a snap lockdown here in Victoria, which basically means everyone is at home. And while there's some cubby houses and stuff being built inside, I'm out here doing some recording and getting some stuff done. But new arrivals, big arrivals, I must say. First of all, we have a Cafe Chaos, the Odd Ones Out game. This is recently arrived with a huge amount of content and stuff in the extra box as well. Animation packs, add-on kits. Looking forward to unboxing that one with a little someone, our junior gamer. Card slinging, food fight fun. That'll be a bit of fun. But the big one that I want to talk about, which has arrived, is the first wave shipment of our big friend here, Nemesis. Now, this is a bloody big box, and it is not the only box of Nemesis stuff that we have. So I'm very excited to show you what's in this one. Also because it's not just a Nemesis core box, this is a Sundrop pledge as well. So all the minis have some amazing features too, which is fantastic. But now it's time, folks, to get into the thick of it. We're going to talk about some project updates from projects we've already backed. And these are the updates that we're going to talk about for May 2021. Okay, so the first project that I want to bring you up to speed on, folks, is one of our beloved projects. I cannot wait for this to get here because it's something that's going to intrigue Charlotte, keep her entertained, and a bit of lighthearted family fun in lines of their previous game that we backed. Now, this is a game called Creature Comforts, and it's by Kids Table Board Gaming. We recently did a playthrough just before Christmas of their previous game, Fossilis, which was reviewed by KT Board Gaming, as well as the creator of that game, David Diaz. And obviously, we're just thrilled that they even had a chance to watch the playthrough. Unfortunately, of course, I did get beaten by a point, but that's okay. We are here to talk about Creature Comforts, though. Production is rolling along smoothly, and they have partnered up once again with Game Trays to provide some amazing storage solutions for this game. So I'm really excited to see how that's going to look when it arrives. At this stage, production moves along steadily, and there's not going to be too many delays as we're aware. So obviously, as we know more, you will be the first in the know. So hopefully that'll hit the table very soon, hopefully before the end of the year as it's scheduled. So look out for that one, Creature Comforts. It's going to be epic. Next one I want to talk about now is a little tiny game about bugs, bug life, and sumo warfare. I'm talking about Kabuto Sumo. Now, this is a tile pushing, shifting game, almost a bit like chess-like, I guess, where you take on the role of bugs in a sumo-style arena and you use their special tools to push tiles around, ultimately trying to get the most victory points and win the bout. This is very simply like a little tile, I can't quite describe it, a tile shifting, almost like a shuffleboard style game. What's great about this is their pledge manager is about to close and they're about to start shipping rewards, which is awesome. So it should be hitting our tables very, very soon. Kabuto Sumo, I should say, has a plethora of content and a plethora of warriors to choose from. If you haven't heard about this one, check out our previous updates. You'll see some information about Kabuto Sumo. As I said, Pledge Manager has opened, so if you are one of our Patreon supporters, you will be able to get in on the Pledge Manager and secure your copies as well. But the Pledge Manager will only open for about 3 weeks, so get on top of that if you haven't already. And if you're watching this one in June as opposed to in May and wonder what the hell I'm talking about, you better get on the Patreon because you'll see these videos as soon as they are released. That's all I have to update you about Kabuto Sumo, but we're going to move on to our next game for May 2021. All right, next game I want to talk about is one that is a far-flung reach from the family-friendly games that we've been talking about. This one is something that has been steeped in a bit of development hell at the moment, unfortunately. We're talking about The Night Cage. Now, this is a game in which you are one lone miniature on a tile-ridden board, holding a candle for light and trying to find your key to help you get out of this night cage. Of course, it's not as simple as that. There are other players hiding in the darkness, along with some other nasties as well that will try to hunt you down and prevent you from escaping, to put it in a quite family-friendly way. Night Cage looks amazing. The miniature upgrades and everything else look absolutely fantastic, but unfortunately there's been development delays and production delays that have put this game in perpetual development hell, just not quite as much hell as another game we won't talk about. Night Cage at this stage is slated for a release towards the end of the year. It was meant to have already been in our hands as of September last year, but with COVID and of course shipping containers and things as well, it's been an absolute nightmare. So we wish those guys all the best. Hopefully they'll get through their production delays as soon as possible and we'll be able to move forward to get our hands on what will be an epic tile laying, crazy, nightmarish game. It'll be fantastic. Now, I'm really excited about this next one, folks, because Wave 1 has started shipping. This is a game that's shipping in 2 parts only because of the content. Wave 2 is not meant to come out until September this year, but that is not too far away as we move into winter here in Australia. I am talking about Ascension Tactics, a bit of a miniature style deck building adventure from the Ascension universe. Wave 1 is all of their 10th anniversary Ascension bits and bobs that is shipping, which we didn't support. We didn't back at that level only because we don't have the space to keep storing all of this stuff. At the same time, Ascension Tactics is the miniatures deck building version with area control, lots of different play modes, all sorts of other crazy stuff, which I'm super excited about. That's on target to be shipping. They keep sending pictures of their development of their miniatures for the game. They look absolutely epic, and it's good to see the cards from the traditional original Ascension game core box coming to life in 3 dimensions, and it's going to be quite spectacular when it reaches our table, and there's going to be some epic battles as we move around the table, hopefully opening back up for good and being able to do some learn to plays and things as well. I'm very excited to see Ascension Tactics when it finally gets here. It is slated for a September to October delivery, and they are on target. So fingers crossed that it will arrive in time. And when it does, you will know about as much as we do, and we'll hopefully show you an unboxing of that as well when it arrives. And the last project update I want to bring you all up to speed on is the epic saga that is Primal: The Awakening. Now, this one is a miniature combat game, deck crafting, building, not worker placement, a card drafting, card battling thing with giant minis, and I mean epic giant monster minis that you're trying to take down with your piddly little warrior. You are basically utilizing all of your resources to the best of your ability with your card combos to try and do as much damage as possible to bring down the beast in each of its 3 phases, but in true epic boss battle fashion, because effectively that's what this game is, just one epic boss battle after another. When you complete first phase, there is a second form for the boss and a third form for the boss as well. It is going to be an uphill battle, but I really love it. The campaign mode intrigues me as well because it's basically going to give you a chance to upgrade your deck and upgrade your cards and upgrade your resources to allow you to do more damage and more epic combos on your turn. And when you finally fell those crazy beasts, it's going to be a sick ride. We have gone all in on this one. All in gameplay, all in on Primal. Good news is the Pledge Manager is due to open in summer, which is winter here in Australia, in the not too distant future. So if you want to get in on Primal, now is the time. Hit us up at the Patreon page, drop us an email on our website, and you too can get your hands on copies of Primal when they start shipping. They need to calculate some big box shipping because this game is absolutely huge, so please be prepared to pay a hefty price for shipping on this one. But I make sure that you get in on it if you are interested, because it will only be open, the Pledge Manager will only be open for about 3 weeks. And that is all the project updates for May 2021. Now it's time to get into some crazy stuff as we talk about the freshly backed projects we've supported for this month. Okay, so the first of the freshly backed projects that I want to talk about is a teeny tiny little game called Micro Dojo. Now, this is a 2-player fighting game, worker placement style game where you'll be doing battle against another player in a little micro dojo, literally that will fit in your hand. And the designer of this game has decided to ship it literally as one punch out so it can fit in an envelope to keep shipping costs to an absolute minimum. What this means is that we have backed at a basic level to get not 1, not 2, but 3 copies of Micro Dojo, which means we will have a couple of copies to either give away or available for purchase. Now, if you are one of our Patreon subscribers, you'll be able to get in on this and maybe even win yourself some sweet loot. Micro Dojo is basically, as I said, a little fighting style game, very simple playtime, 15 to 20 minutes tops, something you can take with you to restaurants and pubs and bars and clubs and play in between meals and things like that as well. And it looks like it's going to be something that's going to, literally fit in the palm of your hand, which is fantastic. Micro Dojo looks like it's already pretty much print ready and ready to ship, and there is a print and play module available as well. And I think at this stage it's slated to be arriving before the end of the year. So I'm looking forward to seeing that one hitting the table. And it's going to be a lot of fun to play in the downtime here, there, and everywhere. So check out that Micro Dojo. It is still live currently on Kickstarter, so you can get online and back your copy now. Check it out, Micro Dojo. Definitely worth a look. Okay, now this one goes back to our very beginning, our Kickstarter origins, if you will, with one of the very first projects we backed on Kickstarter by morning players, and it was called Kill the Unicorns. Now, this game is one of our it was actually our very first YouTube video on this channel as well. I highly suggest you check it out because it's a great little game where you hunt down and destroy those fabulous unicorn fantasy creatures, and it's kind of epic as well. This game we're talking about is a follow-up from Morning Players. It's got nothing to do with unicorns. It's called Burn, and it is literally about building the most spiciest or crafting the most spiciest sauce that you possibly can to use at a food festival. And this may entail actually going to the mob and asking them for help in sourcing the best ingredients to use. At the start of the round, you will reach in and grab one of the 4 pillars that's there, and that'll help you dictate who you can trade with across the board and across the cast of various characters that are available, and it will allow you to try and craft the spiciest meatball, the spiciest tamale, if you will. And obviously just don't make it too spicy or you'll burn yourself in the process, both on the way in and on the way out, I would imagine. They are slated for a Christmas delivery, I think, but I know Morning Players hopefully have learned a bit from their last Kickstarter campaign with Kill the Unicorns, because there was epic delays there as well. And they've designed this game Burn to be in line and coincide with the Kill the Unicorns box. So it is that same little square box which will fit neatly on the shelf, which will be quite fantastic as well. Looking forward to that one when it hits the table very soon. That's Burn. Okay, now we're jumping into our next project, which is one by Wise Wizard Games, formerly White Wizard Games, who have done things like Epic, Star Realms, all that sort of stuff. This one is a new one from them, and it's something a little bit different, far removed from the other stuff they've done in the past, because it's a bit more of a family-orientated game. It has some great little minis involved. I am talking about the Epic Robot Quest Arena. Now, this game is a programmable deck builder worker placement-y game in which you'll find yourself constructing a robot, sending it into the arena to do damage to your opponents, but when it gets scrapped, you'll be able to upgrade it and put it back in respawn and take the fight back to your folks in order to score the most victory points in the contest. Now, this is a game for 2 to 4 players. The best part about this is it is upgradable, so you can actually add in extra robot miniatures that you can use, extra pilots, and all sorts of other crazy fun. This also includes adding things like a missile barrage to your robot to fire absolute epic, painful hurt and death upon your opponents as well. Again, in a family edition style game, so it's actually quite cartoony and very awesome to look at. The artwork, I will say, from what I've seen so far, is fantastic, and the minis are painted mini sculpts, and you can also purchase little upgrade packs to add extra robots. As I said at the outset, there is a lot of content for this quick little deck building worker placement style game, and I look forward to getting that one out to the table. Deck builder, you've got my money. It's as simple as that. Robot Quest Arena is slated to release, although Wise Wizard have had some epic delays with Epic and Star Realms. So we'll see how much they've been pushed back for Robot Quest Arena, but hopefully they'll be on target and we'll be able to get our hands on it sooner rather than later. Looking forward to it. It's going to be great. It is still live on Kickstarter. Check it out. Okay, folks, our second to last one before we move out of the game garage and away from these tweeting birds that are outside is a game that is actually, I think it might actually be on the shelf somewhere here, hiding in amongst this this craziness. Who knows? There's so many games here, I can't keep track of what's in stock anymore. This game here is a deluxe version of an absolute classic all the way back from 2009. And the first time I actually came across this game was watching the wonderful tabletop with the gorgeous, ever gorgeous Will Wheaton. I am talking about Castle Panic Deluxe. Now, this is a co-op pandemic style game where you are trying to defend your castle from a horde of evil monsters coming out from the forest. This one is a rehashing of the game. The gameplay itself doesn't change. It's still the same gameplay, but with some incredibly deluxe components. The most important of which is that instead of the tiles, the little chipboard tiles that you pull from the bag and put on the board, they're now, of course, some epic miniatures. Now, the miniatures come with bases, and the bases actually rotate, so you can actually talk about your life, or show the life points for each miniature individually, as opposed to having to have rotating tiles and things as well, which is a perfectly viable and workable option. But the minis just add that much more table presence. But even though the enemies have been upgraded to miniatures, you are not alone. Your walls and your castle have been upgraded as well into awesome miniature components too. And you can go all in on this one to get some epic upgrades for all of the expansions that have been released to date, including Wizard's Tower, Dark Titan, Engines of War, and a brand new one as well, which name eludes me, but it'll pop up on the bottom of the screen because that's what editing is for. Castle Panic Deluxe boasts some great rehashing of what is a wonderful game. And if you've never been a part of the Castle Panic universe, there is never a better time to get on board than right now, because Castle Panic Deluxe is live still as of this recording on Kickstarter. So you'll be able to get a hold of some epic loot. If you don't want to do the upgrades with all the minis and everything else as well, you don't have to. You can go for a deluxe wood component version, which will be a little bit cheaper and will replace those chipboard tiles with little proper wood components, and it'll be epic. It still have a great table presence on the table. Just won't have quite all of the details of the plastic minis and things as well. Castle Panic Deluxe, I think the campaign at this stage still has about 10 days to go. Get on board if you haven't already. Of course, if you are one of our Patreon subscribers, you will get a chance to get in on our pledge manager if you want to do that as a late pledge down the track. Check it out, Castle Panic Deluxe on Kickstarter now. Definitely worth a look. And we have saved the biggest, as always, till last. Doesn't necessarily mean it's the best, but I'm excited. We are talking about a game that has been inspired by a video game franchise, a Netflix series, a huge hoard of books and canon and universe that has been created for this franchise. What am I talking about? I am talking about The Witcher Old World. Now, this is a game that is set in the old world before Geralt, before all of the video games that come to pass. And this is a game that features the old world of the Witcher universe, pre all of that sort of stuff. So you have the chance to explore. It's like a character crafting, so you actually develop your character as the game goes on. You have a heap of choices to make, lots of foes to fight, epic miniatures as well, and a board that evolves as your character does. So they'll react differently. The NPCs in the game will react differently depending on your choices throughout the game's progress. And on top of that, you'll be able to craft items and develop your character further, including your own deck of cards and action cards to use in combat. It is a Monster Hunter style game, as is true of The Witcher. There are expansions that throw back to things like Wild Hunt as well, which I'm super excited for, along with a 5th player expansion to add some more complexity to an already epic game. The Witcher Old World is currently live on Kickstarter. It's only just launched. So at the time of this recording, I think it's still about 18 days to get on board. It is quite pricey. Don't be afraid of the price tag when you look at it. There's a lot of game to be had on that price tag, but at the same time, the best games usually are the most expensive, let's be honest. The Witcher Old World promises to be fantastic. There is a great 3-player YouTube video on the campaign page as well. Check that out. That'll show you a bit more about how it all works. The Witcher Old World, if you're a fan of the series, this is the board game to get your hands on. Looking forward to getting that to the table sometime next year, probably around about this time, about a year away. Pending all the craziness that's going on. That's The Witcher Old World. And there you have it, folks. There are all the project updates and the Freshly Backed project information we have for you for May 2021. If you have got this far and you've watched every episode of our Got Your Backer series to date, thank you very much. We appreciate all your support. If you're one of our Patreon subscribers and you're watching this when it's released, thank you very much. Extra special thanks to you. We really appreciate everything you allow us to be able to do. If you want to jump on board the Patreon page, all you have to do is follow the link that is on your screen, www.patreon.com/hbgamingau, or you can always drop us an email at orders@hbgaming.com.au, or as always, jump on the website, hbgaming.com.au, to get your hands on some of the sweet loot that is here behind me. Folks, please stay safe no matter where you are in the world during this crazy times. If you are in other parts of the world, please look after one another. Please support one another. Please be kind always. And we'll see you back at the table for some more crazy antics very, very soon. Until then, of course, it is, as always, bye for now.